What's up, guys? We are here at a flip right now. It's a flip I'm working on. It's actually a manufactured home. It's the first manufactured home I've ever worked on, and I'm nervous about it. At the very end, we're going to go through the rehab, what we're buying it at, all the closing costs, and just do a full breakthrough of what this flip will cost. And again, this is a very affordable flip. This is something anyone can do. And so let's take a look. Okay, so we're 2 weeks into this flip. And here we are so far. Again, this is mid-project. So I'm thinking we got about 1 more week on it. As you can see right here, we have the closet. I just got the floors in. So the walls before, they were just this nasty, nasty wallpaper. There were holes everywhere. They had dogs in here, and so there was just a terrible smell. But as you can see, we put the trim up yesterday. We still have to finish the trim. I'm going to switch that door out today. Lights will be coming out. Windows. So I debated on if I wanted to replace them. Obviously, there's some vinyl, there's some aluminum. This one's even a little foggy. I might replace this, I might not. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. This is going to be a 3-week flip, and keep in mind, I am doing this all by myself. So moving on, I always got my air purifier, that's a dehumidifier. There was so much mold in this house. We'll walk over to that window and you'll see. But so it's got HVAC. We're going to get a furnace replacement. That's back there. We'll go there later. Today, I'm obviously working on backsplash, so I'm going to get that done today. But here's the kitchen. My wife came over. She painted them all our signature green, which we do on literally every single one of our flips. Let's see here. One thing real quick, just want to point out, again, this is just day in the life. So I put this up today. This is the range hood vent. And as you can see, it's a 30-inch right here, and it's supposed to be 42. So I took 6 inches on each side. This is $80, okay? I was like, okay, maybe I should buy a 42-inch to span the whole length. A full length one, I couldn't find it under $330. They're, $400, $500, but $330 was like the cheapest across all platforms. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll just run the backsplash up there. It'll look fine. I'm going to save $300. And that's just how you have to do that. So that door is going to be replaced. And yeah, here's the kitchen. So this is just mid-project on it. I put those lights in. There was no lights in the living room. That's super important. If there's no lights in the living room, always put lights in. It adds a lot of value, and it's easy work. So right here, you just have your closet. I'm honestly just going to have the floating shelves stay here, maybe put a little bit of decor, but I'm not going to do a closet of any sort. Right around here, flip the light on, we have the laundry room. I've switched all the lights to a flush mount, and we got some cabinets there. We're going to paint those. We've got an oil-based primer on them. It does great. And then we're going to get 2 brand new washer and dryers. Coming through here, most of you are pretty used to our finishes in here. Of course, we're not finished, but here's the tile we always like to use. It's a 15 by 30. So look at this. I don't have to cut. Normally you'll see a 24. So I don't have to cut it and then have another piece. Normally you'll see a line right here. I don't have to do that. These, I did not cut any of these. In fact, I did not cut any of these tiles until the very top. And so I absolutely love using this tile. It also has a nice champagne bronze-ish color to it. We use the grout to match, and we always have our champagne bronze trim kit. Right through here, there was a closet that was closed with doors. I'm just going to do floating shelves, and I think that'll look really nice. Windows are going to be cleaned and trimmed out and all that good stuff. Just installed the toilet yesterday. As you saw on our last flip, if you did see it, we switched to this. So yes, I know what it looks like. It looks like tile, but let's go a little bit closer. So this is actually an LVP. Now it's expensive. It's $3.50 square foot, $3.50 a square foot, $3.50. And so it's expensive stuff. Normally I like to be in, for example, the flooring right here was $1.79 a square foot. It looks great. I like it. It's not that gross gray, but it's also not that lightish oak that I like, but it's my wife likes it. I like it, and it's very inexpensive. So, but yeah, this stuff is great. It's about the same cost as tile, but you don't have to do all the prep. I mean, yes, I did self-level this, but normally you don't have to with LVP. And so I made sure to self-level, primed it, but with tile, you have to self-level, you have to prime, you have to, of course, put all the mortar down and then lay the tile. It's heavier. It's, then you got to grout it. Then you got to wash it down. And so we love this. I mean, it feels like tile. If you tap it, obviously, it's not tile, but it's good stuff. It's not that like sheet vinyl that you put on. This is good stuff. And then here's the vanity we went with. So since this is the only bathroom in the house, this is an 850 square foot house. And so we wanted to go with a double sink. And so there it is. I know I got lights up there. Take it down. So yeah, here it is, and it's got a widespread faucet, so we're gonna do two really nice. You'll see those at the end. I'll do a separate walkthrough video of this house completely done. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look really good. And we have a beautiful fixture that we put there in the last bathroom, and that's what's so nice. Talk to as many flippers as you want, but until you actually do it, you start almost getting an algorithm. Like when you're scrolling through videos on Instagram, there's an algorithm that is watching what you watch, for how long you watch it, do you like it, do you comment, when do you scroll, and it learns what you want to see. And it's the same thing with flipping. Once you've done enough, you know what people like, you know what they don't like, you know what they're going to fall in love with, and you do it every time. And it doesn't, now that I found that, I love it, because it's not like, it sounds boring because, I'm doing the same thing every time. I'm doing the same fixtures, but I'm used to it. I love it. There's enough different things in my life that are different. And so just having that where it's like, all right, this is the fixture we use, knowing that people are going to love it, that's what I love. And so moving on here, again, closet, just to kind of show reference of where we are. The back two bedrooms are here. This is in the very back of the house. And here it is. We'll flip the light on here. Again, it's a bedroom. It's got the floor, of course, the electrical panels in there, and right behind there is the water heater. But it's a good sized closet, and yeah, just put the trim up yesterday. We did all the outlets. Actually, real quick, at one point there was a bunch of cabinets right here, and so we took those out. It really opened up the space. This room used to feel really crammed, and so yeah, right through here is the second bedroom. This one had a lot of holes in here. Again, there were dogs, and so, not quite sure why there were holes, but there were holes. And so, but yeah, huge closet. The closet literally spans the whole side of the room. Normally we'll have like a little thing, but this is a nice size closet. And so, yeah, let's check the outside out. So this property is 0.3 acres. So close to a half, but not quite there. So I guess closer to a quarter acre. And so, yeah, here we are. I did just pressure wash this, although it doesn't seem like it. And we re-graveled it. Before it was just kind of, a muddy little pit. There were a ton of cars out here. We'll kind of walk through and I'll do some overlays of how it used to be before. But yeah, it is just, it's a nice area. So right now we're in a HOA. The dues are kind of spendy, but there's a lake, there's a cabana, there's parks. It's actually a really nice area. HOA dues are $150 a month. And so right here, we got a 2-car garage. Not going to do much with this. I'm going to pressure wash it at some point and call it good. Let's see. I got lights right there. I'm going to put those up, make it a little more bright, and we're good to go. The very first day, literally the day of closing, we put roofs on. Took me and my brother 2 days. We knocked it out. You can kind of see better with that one. We'll zoom in. So I went with the Onyx Black. Sorry. It's the roof I always go with. I love the Onyx Black. No matter what color you paint the house, it looks good. It's just that black finish. I'm not a huge fan of the brown, but I don't mind the estate gray. And so right here, this was all grass, junk, cars, tarps, and of course it's not finished. I want to do some weed killing and maybe throw some more gravel down, but day 3 we just went boom, we went all out with gravel, and I made this more parking. There used to be a fence where the bricks were. I took the fence down, and there was also a fence right there. and I'll tell you a little something about that fence. So normally when you have a fence, it's owned by two people. It's kind of that mediation between the lines. Well, here's the thing. This fence was 6 feet over onto my property. And so I'm in the process of taking down, and this is story time, so listen up. The neighbor comes over, and she introduced herself, and she's a nice lady. And, we get to talking and blah, 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 blah. She goes back over. I'm mowing, blah, blah, blah. I see her walking over. I was like, oh, great, here we go. And she says, well, I talked to my husband. I'm thinking, well, where is he? Why couldn't he come over and talk to me? But she talked to her husband, and he said, well, I think we will need the fence up, just casually. Because we have our dogs come over here. And I'm thinking like, well, you know what? It's like the first week and a half of this. I got a few more weeks to go on this flip. I'd rather piss you off at the end than right now. And so I said, okay, yeah, I'll look into what a fence would cost. And I'm walking away thinking to myself, okay, you and I both agreed that this fence was 6 feet over onto my property. So that's no different than me taking that shed out right there, right? Or the house that I'm flipping. If I took a wrecking ball and took that out, it's on my property. And so the fence, I took that out. That's no issue there to me. I think I'm just going to make this grass. I'm going to kind of just clear that out and just make it smooth, make it flat. A little bit more trash here we got to take care of. Here is the door that's going to go right there. And yeah, this is just kind of the side of the house. We're not going to do a whole lot to it. Going to try to do some landscaping. And so, your world is your oyster, I guess you could say. Do whatever you want with it. Again, as you can tell, they had tons of dogs. We're going to do a nice little seating area out here. And this is where I want the property to shine. So as you guys know, I'm a huge advocate of landscaping. It's a statistic that within the first 7 seconds of a buyer driving up, they've already made a decision. And on average, it takes about a minute, roughly 58 seconds, to get inside. Realtor's got to open the lockbox. And so my point being, they've already made their decision. And they've seen the inside pictures. They know, right? They've zoomed in. Like they're super excited for this house. When they pull up and they see the landscaping, the size of it, everything like that, they've already made their decision. And so landscaping. I'm huge on that. That doesn't mean I downplay the kitchen renovations, the bathroom renovations, anything else like that. We'll do those, but those are expected. So those are like, I get those done to the best of my ability, make them look beautiful. We do all of our finishes on them, but that is expected. Okay. All right. So I'm super excited for this part. This is my favorite part of all time. Excuse me if I seem a little bit tired. Again, I am full-time working on this flip right now. We're doing a mid walkthrough, and so I'm trying to record, get content out to you guys, but this is what we're doing and this is happening. And so I just want to get it out to you and just be truthful and show you what our numbers look like, whether we're losing money, whether we're making money. And so let's get started. So this is the spreadsheet that I use. And of course, look in the description if you want to get the same stuff that I use. It's easy to use, but it's also very intuitive with everything that you do and includes everything. And it's a great tool that has helped out a lot. So as you can see, so this is kind of when I was setting it up. So the after repair value is honestly, so this is again when I set it up, it's actually 275. 2, 3. Let's see, we purchased it at 117. So that's the purchase price right there. And this is how much money we've put into it. I estimate about 11 to 12,000. So our calculated profit won't change a whole lot. But look at this. I am so keen on the overpaying stature where it's like, I have a video out where someone came up to me and they're like, what's worse, overpaying or blank, overpaying or blank, overpaying or blank, overpaying every single time. On a property that's under 300, this is the smallest flip we've done. We've done in the 800-900,000s. This, to buy at this price and to make that much is insane. And so finding the right deal. I'm just going to end it right there. So, and I have other videos on that. You guys can reach out to me if you guys have any questions, but we're doing this. And so let me know, reach out. So 45% is what we are at. You want to stay below 70, sometimes 75% is okay, but we are well within that. And so without further ado, let's get into the rehab. Let's look at mid-project, where we are at, where we stack up here. So again, this is just my spreadsheet I use. It's all included in here, and it's got so much plug and play information that you can put in there. So first off, we have our general conditions, and you can read all this. It's all the things you put in there. We did a lot of dumping, as you saw throughout the video. There was tons of stuff, and so we're at about $500 for that. And then looks like gravel was about 160. Let's go over here. Let's see, nothing. So this is so again, labor and equipment, I do it all myself, and so I don't really have to pay. I did pay a little bit. I got a little bit of help on this one. But just, $20 an hour. And so, let's see, roofing. So roofing material, $2,500, and then 60 for, oh yeah, that's right. There was gutters and downspouts that needed replaced in one small area. Exterior doors and windows. I got 2 exterior doors. Both of them were $500 each. They looked absolutely amazing, and just a steal of a price. I'm very happy with it. Framing and drywall, $170. Looks like $15 for just 2x4s. I had to frame in the shower after tearing that down. It was pretty nasty and moldy. Had to redo that. And then $95 for drywall. Now, funny enough, this manufactured home has 1/4 inch drywall on the wall and then 1/2 inch on the ceiling. Normally, you'll see 5/8 on the ceiling and 1/2 inch on the wall. And which is fine. Either way, I don't really care. But here's the thing. Drywall, 1/2 inch drywall is $13 right now. A sheet, 4x8 sheet. It was $22, very close to double, for a 1/4 inch. Not 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch was almost twice the price. And that is supply and demand for you. They have probably, I don't know. A specialty item. I don't even know. It was just so expensive. Okay, cabinets and countertops, $450. I just did butcher block. I'm not going to pay $2 to $3 grand to freaking, but people love the butcher block. It goes really well with the sage green and the champagne bronze pulls that we do. So we've done this tons of times. I'm also a real estate agent. I know what makes buyers tick, and so that does help. And so, again, if you guys want training, if you guys want to, learn more, get in the description. Reach out. I'm happy to help. And I help a lot of people for free. I'm not charging courses and all that stuff. Like, I'm just a one-man show right now. If you have any questions, hit me up. Carpet and resilient. This is probably our flooring. $1,100. But come on, for 850 square feet, that's not bad. The entire flooring in the whole house, $1,100. Pretty good, I would say. Moving on, nothing for hardwood floor. Tiling. Okay, you know what? This is actually embarrassing because as I'm doing this, I actually have to adjust. But it's kind of cool. So let's do this. So we were at $455 for the backsplash, and then the shower tile, we were at $350. So look at that. We're adding. And watch, boom! It adds it right there for you. Look how easy that is. That's so funny. Because, yeah, I'm like, nope, we definitely spent some on tile. Painting, we're at $900. Appliances, I'm going to get those very soon. Again, this is mid-project. Plumbing, what the heck did I spend? I got all my plumbing material. This must be toilets and stuff. Let's see, nothing at the top. Okay, $250 for the fiberglass tub, and then $97 for the toilet. Electrical and miscellaneous, $400. That's just Amazon stuff. And so, again, this is mid-project. I'm estimating around $12,000 once this is all finished. We still have a little bit more work to do. Paying for a furnace replacement is going to be the biggest price. That's going to be about $3,200 after tax. A quick note, they wanted $4,000. I didn't even call around for quotes, multiple quotes. Later on I did, but I just called back and I said, hey, listen, I want to go with you guys. I flip homes. I'm trying to find a local, HVAC company, heating and cooling company, and I mean, I'm ready to go right now for $3,200, and they did that. So always call, like always challenge if they're able to go down a little bit. A lot of times they will. I mean, a lot of they want the job right now, especially in a hard economy like this. So keep that in mind. I got a lot of other tips and tricks. Check the description. I have this exact same system that I use. I also have a CRM that I use, so I'm able to follow up and find new deals. Check that out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Again, this is my Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to put this content out for you guys. I love you guys. I love to help. I love to teach. And so just give it a like, give it a subscribe, comment anything you want. I'm happy to help. I'll see you guys next time.